So the Bible says, while before the law, sin was in the world. Sin was existing. So it wasn't as though maybe when God created man, God now said, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not. Now look at it. The law has always been God's standard from the beginning. But God puts something in man called the conscience to point him in the right way at every point in time. But that conscience was weakened by sin and death. So the conscience has no voice anymore. The conscience now supports evil more than good. So that's why you find out that people find it easy to do evil. Because why? Their conscience has become weak because of sin. In fact, the conscience is even dead. Hallelujah. So it says, nevertheless, verse 14, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned. Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
It said, over them that had not sinned, death reigned in the likeness of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come. So also is the free gift, not like the offense. For if through the offense of one man many are dead, much more the grace of God and the gift by grace, which is by one man, Jesus Christ, has abounded unto many. Now look at it. Look at me. If the sin nature that you inherited in Adam, you did not inherit it because you did the sin that Adam did, why do you think that you have to do something to inherit the righteousness of Christ? If God placed a premium, in other words, says that you must do something to inherit the righteousness of Christ, then God will be unjust and unfair. And God will be going against himself because why? It is wrong, it's against his principles. If the generation, the millions and billions of mankind that will be given birth to after Adam inherited sin, then it is only natural if the millions and the billions of people that will be given birth to in the similitude of the last Adam should inherit righteousness. Is that not logical? It's logical, right? It's only logical. So if it's logical for Adam to sin and then I inherit his sin, and David said, in sin did my mother conceive me, it's only logical for me to say, if Christ died and he has become the payment for sin, and I have received his righteousness, then it means that me too, I have become righteous. And then I am free from condemnation. So when people tell you there's nothing like eternal salvation, my dear, if your salvation is not eternal, then you were never saved. The only salvation you are built to receive when you come to Christ is eternal one. That's the only one you are built to receive. So the place where they now have problem is that, if you keep talking like this, people will keep sinning. How is that your problem? The problem of sin is God's problem. And God put a solution to it. Why are you drinking Panadol on God's headache? God is the one who has a problem with building iniquity. And he fixed that problem by sending Christ. Christ wiped out the sin. And then every other sin that is committed after that, the Bible said Christ is still made a propitiation. In other words, he has been made a payment such that once the sin has been committed, even before the sin is committed, the payment has already been made. So every time God sees the sin, he looks at the payment. Every time he sees the sin, he looks at the payment. So when God looks at you, my dear, God doesn't see you. He sees Christ. If God were meant to look at you, fire will come down from heaven and just swallow you instantly. Because there is nothing that you are good enough for in your own self. You have too many shortcomings. You have too many weaknesses.